Alright, g'day everyone, welcome back. Another episode of Explore Build. Something a little bit different this time. So I've still got my 79 build underway. Normally one project would be enough, but I've got greedy. I need one of these things. I need a boat. We've been doing a lot more spearing, scuba and fishing, remote island camping, and we wanted something that's just going to get us out to those islands, be able to spend a bit of time out there and have a crack at fishing. Now, you all know I suck at fishing, so now I've got a decent boat. Hopefully I can bring someone along to catch the fish for me. But come in, let's go check it out. Alright, g'day everyone, welcome back. Something a little bit different this afternoon. This is one well-deserved Larry. Don't mind me. So we've just got back. We've just given the big girl a tub. We took it out today for its maiden voyage. So what we thought we'd do, we thought we'd run you through from woe to go, and just a quick little video running through the whole concept, where it came from, and then how we went from concept all the way through to in the drink today. And look, this thing will be at Fraser Island this week. So let's go right back to the very beginning, to where it all started. Basically, we went out on a trip that we filmed with Timmy from Mako Craft. So we took the Mako Crafts over to Fraser. We'd done little trips with our tinnies and bits and pieces, and we'd always talked about wanting a bigger boat. We wanted, you know, to get out to the islands, do a little bit more. And we did that trip over to Fraser Island, and basically after that we were pretty much hooked. I've done bits and pieces of fishing, but that's when we were really hooked. So good mate of the show, Mick from Airing Down, as you guys should know by now, he basically, he pulled the trigger before I did, and he went, that's it, I'm building one. And he wanted to do a 5'3", about a 5 metre centre console boat. So that was where the idea came from. Donnie's like, right, I'm going to do one. He went in to see Timmy, and he sort of sat down and he organised a bit of a boat. Now, we said to this thing, we're like, look, we don't just go fishing, we go exploring. We want something that's going to take us a little bit further, stay out a little bit longer to suit the sort of lifestyle that we love. So first things first, we wanted an off-road trailer. We wanted something that was going to get us all the way up to Cape York if we wanted, up to the tip of Fraser Island, basically everywhere in between. So we're on the hunt, and I'll give it to him. Donnie actually said, I found this company, Black Marlin, Black Marlin Fabrications, and they do some pretty cool trailers. We need to go and have a look. So we jumped in the car, we've gone up there, and we met John for the first time. Now, John is the owner of Black Marlin Fabrications, and we walked in and we seen boats. I wasn't expecting boats. I don't think Donnie was expecting boats. He had the 5.2 green cuddy cab, which caught my eye. That was sort of just part way through. And then they had Big Bird, a 7.5 metre full enclosed beast of a boat. And we're looking at the trailers, and we started talking to John, and we said, look, these trailers are cool, but we want to take it to the next level. We want to take it up to sort of the Explore spec. And that's what we did. So Donnie's was the prototype. It was the first trailer off the rank. And basically we said we want to fit 33-inch all-terrains. We want the nice heavy mud guards so you can walk around on it. We want something that's going to have a big swing-away beach launch bar. And these are all little bits and pieces that John's done, but I don't think he'd ever build a trailer to this level of specification with the built-in water tanks and a few other bits and pieces. So Donnie went and got the rest of his boat done. And look, as you guys know, I get asked this a fair bit, but I'm running Timmy's 376 Mako Craft, cracking boat. I love Donnie's boat, and basically Timmy was chock-a-block. He didn't have a build spot left for the rest of the year, and John said, why don't we build a boat? And I went, well, that sounds like a good idea. So the first thing we said was, we want the exact same trailer. We've changed a few small things from Donnie's trailer to my trailer, just the configuration in the drawbar a little bit. We ended up changing the back slightly, rollers down the guts instead of just having skids. It was a bit of a process just to, you know, take the prototype and then evolve it to the next level. And this thing here is sort of what we come up with. So in the meantime, just to take a step back, John said, well, while we're building your 5 metre boat, you can take Tweety, the green machine as we dubbed it. So we went perfect. We built the ultimate off-road trailer, which was a bit of a process. And then from there, we threw Tweety on, and away we went. As you can see behind me, this thing is just about done. We've got a couple of final touches, spare wheels going on. We've got to put the boat catch on. And look, to be honest, we're going to get the green boat straight on here. Tweety Bird, and we're heading up north. So we've already put this trailer through its test. It's been up to Bundaberg, dragged along the beach. We've had it over to Moreton Island and dragged it around on Moreton Island through some of the soft sand and inland tracks. And look, we've made a couple of small tweaks in regards to mud guards and bits and pieces, but basically now we've got it refined, we've tested it, we know it's solid as a rock, and let me tell you, it tows like an absolute dream. So then from there it was okay, let's get this boat going. John really got stuck in, and we started to see the evolution of the boat. Originally John had a 5 metre plate boat. I think it may have been 4 mil and 4 mil on the bottom. You know, it was a tough boat, but with this one, like anything, we said we want to step it up just that little bit more, John. So he's actually raised the sides on this one an extra 100 mil, and the front's been raised up about 150 mil, which just gives it this absolutely epic presence and curves. We got 700 millimeters of freeboard in that thing, and let me tell you, it's one, you feel safe as houses when you're offshore, and then it's just a magic height to sort of be leaning up against a fish. So basically, once we had the concept and we had the idea, John went to town and started building it. Here it is, the big dog, and it is a big, it was supposed to be a 5 metre boat.
Yeah.
What have we ended up at?
We're gonna launch this one as a Explore Life 5.2. Yeah, we've had a few beers together and discussed a project, and this thing's going to be a weapon. It's a big boat for its size.
A big boat for its size.
And you know, we're just going to customise a little bit so that we can you know, show everybody what we can do, and boys get out there and get amongst it. So a couple of weeks time it'll be on this mad ass trailer here, and yeah, it'll be off to see Australia, basically.
After doing a couple of those other runs offshore in the Makos and some of my mates' boats, one thing I found was storage. In a centre console boat, I just wanted as much storage as I could possibly get. After using the cuddy cab up at Airlie Beach, you know, you've got this massive big space, everything's out of the weather and it's all nice and dry. In a centre console, you don't quite have that luxury. So I wanted as much under hatch dry storage as we could get. So we managed to raise the floor up, and we basically split the front of the boat in half. So we've got one massive big underfloor storage, and then this huge big box up front. We've got enough space in this boat that we should be able to just fill all the hatches with all of our gear, keep the deck basically clean from clutter, which is what you want when you're out there. And then the important thing was, like, what do we do with the swags to get them off the floor? They always get pretty wet too, you know, in certain boats when you're heading out. So we were like, do we do a full hard top? Do we do something similar to Donny, where we just have a console and then a bimini? And I opted for the hard top, which is basically what you can see behind us. And with the hard top, we made it a certain length that would be able to fit good 2 or 3 swags up on that roof. We did the heavy duty tie down rails all the way around, so they'll stay up there. It'll make us a little bit more top heavy, but not a lot. It sort of gets all that gear up out of the way. It also gives us the ability that when we pull into a beach somewhere, we can always throw a solar panel up on top and plug that in to charge our batteries. The main thought process was, when we designed this, was how much gear can we get into a 5.2 metre boat? Something that will give us the ability to charge right out offshore like we did up in Airlie, but instead of 1 or 2 overnighters, like, I'd love to see this thing do a week. That's where we came up with the hard console. That's how we designed the rest of the boat. It was all based around storage and being able to carry as much gear as we possibly could offshore. So then it was looking like a boat, right? Everything was done, the frame was in, the hard top was on. It was time to throw it on a trailer and get this thing off to paint. So we did have a bit of back and forth discussion, myself and John, what colour should we go? By this stage, I'd just about fallen in love with the green machine. The green initially was something I was a bit unsure of, and I'll be honest, I fell in love with the green. But we got the new 79 underway. It'll be finished in the next month or so. So it had to match, right? The silver and black Land Cruiser, we thought it's got to match. It'll look absolutely unreal. From the ground up, the trailer itself is silver, and then obviously we got all the black wheels. So I got the 312 method from Race Wheels Australia that matched the 79. We got the BFGs that matched the 79. So we thought we'll do a black wrap on the side, and the inside of the boat, we'll spray it all silver. So it went off to paint. So I rocked up back to John's one afternoon. He said I need to get up there, and there it was. Basically, the whole hard center console done, dusted. It looked like a boat. He had it sitting on the Green Machines trailer. It was getting bloody exciting. So it was time to start locking in those last few steps. So all the electronics got fitted up. Next step was we're going down to Brisbane Marine. Now the boys at Brisbane Marine, I've dealt with them for a few years. We're back here this morning. There's something pretty major missing off the back, and we're just about to get it sorted. So we've got a couple of things going on. We've got the donk getting thrown on this morning, and then we've also got the steering system on, which is pretty bloody exciting. So the big reveal. Happy days. Well, there we go. So we've decided to go for the Merc, the 115 Pro XS CT. Now look, little differences. The Pro XS basically just has a slightly different churn in the motor to your standard. Revs a little bit higher, so instead of revving out at about 6,000, this thing will push out to about 6.3, and you get the fancy decals on the side, but just a slightly better churn. The 115 was as big as we could go on the back of the 5.2 in the Merc, so it's getting exciting. They do a stellar job. It was never going to be anything but a Merc for me, so I went straight down to Brisbane Marine. We slung the motor, and the boys from Marine Control Systems got all the hydraulic steering done and dusted. All right, so there's a few different steering setups you can get on. Now, the reason I've gone with these boys, local and Aussie made, so just give us a quick run through of the system we're going on this boat, mate.
Yes, this is our side mount hydraulic cylinder. It's an MC11 model, stainless steel, brass, chromed. We manufacture them on the Gold Coast, and yeah, they've been around for probably 30 years now. We just rave about them, we love them, and obviously Australian made and certified. So
simple,
we're
clean, out of the way, looks the goods. Let's get her on, eh? The next stage was it went back to John. He went and got the windscreen done. John dropped it off to get all the black wrap done. So I rocked up, picked it up with the black wrap on. How good does that look? So the silver inside to match the 79, the black on the outside, which will match all the canopy setup and tyres. The Black Marlin. It's coming along. Jeez, it looks good. Let's get it in the water. At that stage, I actually had the Green Machine on this trailer from a recent trip over to Moreton Island, which is coming out very soon. So we went down to the local boat ramp. This is the first time we swapped the boats over. And that was the first time we got to see the new centre console on this trailer with the black wrap. We actually dropped the green boat back off for John's, and we took this thing down to Lucas and the team at Armour Deck. Okay, so we just picked up the boat, all wrapped up from Scotty, looking absolutely unbelievable. And this is going to finish it off. We've just pulled up a Deck Armour. We're getting the whole floor done in Deck Armour. We've got some nice little decals in there. We're going for a bit of a darkish charcoal with the black stripe. It should just finish off the whole entire boat. Let's go in and have a look. All right, so we're down here at Deck Armour. We've got Chris, the main man here. Now, mate, I'm going to get you to give us a little bit of a chat about what's going on now. The sort of three main colours that you guys do. We were tempted to go to the light grey, but we've ended up going the dark grey. Is this for our boat?
This one is actually for your boat. This one's charcoal over black.
Yep.
So this is one of our most popular colours. Basically, you got your charcoal, your slate grey,
yep,
teak, and natural teak.
The teak is pretty nice. We might have to do a teak in another boat. Yeah. It wouldn't suit this one. But, alright, so Deck Armour. I've got some cheap eBay stuff that looks exactly the same.
Yep.
But run me through exactly the benefits of this stuff in your boat as opposed to some of the other products, mate.
Well, most other products are a 6mm product.
Yep.
Ours is an 8mm thick product. We like to think of it as a premium product. We specialise in the design side of things.
Yep.
So basically your eBay stuff, you just have your lines,
yep,
and we cut them with a Stanley knife.
Yep.
Every boat is custom designed to fit each boat specifically.
Yep.
And yeah.
So I've just seen the card drawing, basically cut around every single little hatch, all your little finger holes so you can open and close everything. And it just looks absolutely unreal. We will see some of this going down in a minute, and then you'll be able to see the finished product. But this is the exact same stuff that we've had in the Green Machine running around. It doesn't get hot, it's beautiful to walk on. We had blood and guts all over the one on the weekend. Gurneyed it off, it come up like an absolute treat. And then it is a lot nicer to stand on all day, especially I think the 8mm probably little bit more comfortable again.
Yeah, and the anti-fatigue properties, it just, yeah, you're not killing your legs all day.
Yeah, oh, it's unreal. All right, well, let's get it on. Let's get this boat finished. The boys at Armourdeck kitted out the whole boat and it just really finished it off. From there, all the stickers went on and there we go. She was done and dusted. I tell you what, it's been a hell of a process to get where we are now, but that was yesterday. Stickers went on yesterday. We were in the drink today. We went out this morning for the Maiden voyage.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
She is the Explorer. This has been a long time coming. Obviously we've been out giving the Green Machine a bit of a hiding. That was a loaner boat from John from Black Marlin. This is the new Explore Life boat, the Explorer. It's a 5.2 center console. Let's get into it. I'll give you the full walk around now, show you all the inside, show you all the features and bits and pieces, but how bloody good, some would say shit hot, does this thing look? Sitting on the water, the black colour scheme with the silver has come up an absolute charm. This thing is going to look shit hot behind this, the new 79. We've done a little bit of colour coding there so it matches, but come on, let's get into it. Let's have a look. Up front, obviously we just got the anchor roller there with the anchor well. I've gone for the nice high-sided rails up front. A couple of reasons. One, it gives you something to tie everything down to initially. I love having rails on the front. And then you'll see when we get in here, it acts as a nice little backrest. Also nice and safe if you've got, you know, any smaller kids or whatnot running around in the boat. Just makes that a little bit safer. As we work around, you will have noticed on the front, you've got the hitch for the boat catch, which you would have seen as part of the trailer build. We'll keep coming around. I ended up going with a wrap. So it's a satin black wrap. Now instead of painting it, I thought the black wrap might just be a little bit more versatile. If it does get damaged, you want to change the colour of the boats. If we get excited and we want another green machine, you know, it's quite versatile. We can stick all different types of stickers, and if anything does get scratched or damaged, just raw aluminium underneath. So we can basically, you know, keep changing it up as we go. It's probably a little bit cheaper option as well than painting the whole boat. Personally, I think it's come up absolutely unreal with a few stickers on. Now, like I said, rails all the way around, so we've got nice grab rails for getting on and off the boat. I basically just wanted rails everywhere to hang on to, so that's sort of the main reason. Absolutely love the way the Black Marlin shape their aluminium. The boys do an absolutely beautiful job. The lines on the back of this boat have come up that clean. At the back here, it's a true self-draining floor, so if you get any water over the boat, it basically runs straight out the back, one on each side. At the back here, you would have seen when we do all the motor, we've got the big Mercury. Let me know in the comments, what do you reckon I should have gone? I know there's a lot of Susie and Yummy fans out there. I actually used to sell boats for a while. I was selling Wellcrafts just before I was doing the Explore thing full time, and we basically ran the full range of Mercs, and I fell in love with them. So we went the Mercury. This one is the Pro XS, so it revs a little bit harder than the standard, but the 115. So then the Marcon hydraulic steering at the back, which you've seen. Little plug here that drains the back of the boat. We got the sounder leg in, and then on the left hand side here, I've just got a bungee cord at the moment, but you've got your drop down ladder. Makes it nice and easy to get on and off the boat, especially when you're out in the deep blue. Okay, so now before I forget, it is obviously the 5.2, it's the 5,200 Black Marlin, but the overall length of the boat has come in at 5.4 metres. The beam, it's 2.1, 18 degree dead rise, and then full plate boat. So you got 5mm bottom sheets, 4mm sides, 4mm floor, and 4mm internals. So she is a solid unit for a little boat. Alright, so we'll just start at the back, work our way through. You've seen a lot of it in the build, so it's just a real quick overview. But bait board at the back, all painted up nicely. A couple of things I still got to do on the boat, so I'll run you through them as we're going. But just a little bit of chop and board material on here so that I can fillet my fish up, if I get any. Then this is removable, which I do think is a nice little bonus, because if we're just going to come out here on the Gold Coast and we just want to cruise around, take some friends out whale watching, or have a little bit of you know, chips, dip and a cold beer, it does give you a nice little sitting area. One thing that we are doing that we haven't done yet is we're going to deck armour all the top of the gunnels all throughout the back here, so it'll get rid of that slippiness, protect the paint, and I think that'll actually finish it off nicely. But anyway, that's this. That's super easy, not too much mucking around. It doesn't bang around either when we're actually driving, which I noticed, which is good. Nice big pocket under here. I'll probably get some tackle boxes, slide them in there. And we've got another little hatch down the bottom here for just bits and pieces, probably chuck knives and rags and whatnot. Then across the back we got a few nice storage hatches. So this one here I have made drainable. There's the bungs for the boat. That'll come in handy. So basically those extra bungs, you put one in the kill tank and you can put two either side for that self-draining floor. So if you want to stop any water coming back up through your, there's a word for it, starts with S, can't remember it, scallops, something around that. You can chuck them in as well, so that stops any water going on the floor of the boat. So yeah, nice little hatch here that has a drain point, which is cool. So you can just chuck fish, whatever the hell's going on in there. Okay, so in the back hatches here, I've gone with all the black hatches just to keep that colour scheme run through. We've got the Seamaster Gold battery in there. You got your priming pump for the motor if you need it. So I've got one battery on that side. Then in the middle here, nice little hatch. Nothing going on in there, to be honest. And then over this side we've got our secondary battery as well. So I've got a nice isolator tucked up in there. It's a three-way isolator, so I can isolate one battery, two batteries, or both batteries. Now we've got a nice big bit of storage up the front. I'm going to put a 40-litre Dometic fridge up the front, which should fit in like a glove. So we'll be able to run that off the secondary battery. I still have, I'm waiting, I've got a GME stereo coming. I'll put that in there, and that will also sort of all run off that secondary battery. Means we can isolate the main starter battery, drain that other one down, and then, you know, if the stereo and everything drains it flat, we can still flick over to the main house battery to start the motor and get home. So a little bit of safety first with the three-way isolator. I want to touch on something while I am down here. Deck Armour. The boys at Deck Armour have done an absolutely stellar job. Now, we said when we went and got it installed that this finishes off the boat, and look, I think it's come up unreal. The fact that they can cut any logos into their Deck Armour and do all the different little designs with the lines, it really does look bloody amazing. So well done, boys. We got the kill tank at the back here. So that's got your drain plug, so it fills up with the water outside if you don't have your bung in. Hopefully that's going to be filled with fish. Underneath here we got a 180 litre fuel tank in, so that'll give us a nice bit of range. This thing wasn't built as a little Gold Coast runaround. It's going straight over to Fraser Island. We're dragging all the way up the beach. Stay tuned for that episode. It's going to be an absolute cracker. Righto, into the console. So then we got the Garmin, we got the 9-inch Garmin. This one is the EcoMap 95 SV UHD. I'm no gun when it comes to these things. I'm still learning a lot about them, but I do love the Garmins. I've used a couple of different ones. So far, the Garmin just seems to be simple to use. It's a beautiful touchscreen. You can put your cards in. It's got Bluetooth, all that sort of gear. You got your Mercury viewfinder over here. That basically links up to the motor at the back. You can run through. You can see how much fuel you've got here. It total fuel, we said that. It tells you what your battery voltage is at, your speed. Then it can give you your trip distance, your trip time, your average fuel usage, your average speed. It's a super handy little bit of kit. Tells you sort of what your engine's running at, your RPM, your coolant temps, oil pressure, all that sort of thing. So That basically is a little management system to make sure your motor's running all right. Over here, this is just our switching panel. So we got our anchor lights up on top. We got the nav lights on the side, cockpit lights. We got some nice little LED lights to light up all the pockets at night. Obviously you can't see any of that now. Deck wash. So I've actually haven't even set it up yet, but here's my hose and my little gun. So I've got a saltwater deck wash only. I haven't done the freshwater deck wash in this. But the best thing about having that saltwater deck wash is when you got blood and guts everywhere all over the boat, you plug this in, draws straight out of the ocean. You can sort of hose down everything. It stops probably a lot of stains, stops everything from sticking, just cleans everything up, tidies it up. It's still salt water. You know, you give it a wash with the fresh water and you get home. But look, honestly, once you've used one of these deck washes, it just keeps everything tidy. You guys that know a lot more about boating than me will understand. What else? We got the GME up top. We got the GME VHF radio. Absolute must, obviously, with your boating. I like it up top in the center console, in the little center console here. It's super neat, and then it's got the handy little cover that goes over the top as well. Now, the center console, the boys have done an absolutely stellar job. We wanted it rock solid. I wanted rails absolutely everywhere when it comes to pushing out in a center console. You want to be hanging on. So this allows the boys to basically sit there. You can hang onto the rails up front, 2 on either side, 2 standing in the cockpit. Because it is only a 5.2, we've crammed a lot into this little boat, but there's not ample room back here. It is a small boat, so instead of having a full bench seat with maybe one of those flip-flop backrests, I've opted for no seat. I'll show you what I am going to use. Right, so this is what I'm going to use as a seat. The best thing is it is movable, so I'll show you where I put it up the front. But basically, I borrowed this one out of the green machine, but I found a model that's just a little bit higher. It's probably about 150 mil higher, which will be perfect. I can put a couple of straps down to the floor if I need to, but basically you can sit in here. It gives you that little bit of comfort for those long drives. Obviously the new one will be slightly higher, but you get the idea. So that can be pushed right to the very back here. Still gives me room to stand up, muck around. Can have people sitting down the back. It's pretty handy having that, and that way when we are fishing I can throw the esky up the front and you can fish 4 blokes down the back here without any dramas. Okay, so like I said, you want grab rails absolutely everywhere, which the boys have done a great job, including up top. So if you come up on top here, the idea of having the hard rooftop is this is where we're going to load the swags. So we've got the grab rail going all the way around the outside. We'll be able to fit 2-3 swags up here, pile them up, ratchet strap them down, and they're rock solid. Whatever other gear we want to put up here, I'll probably put down a bit of a protective mat. Of course, you've got the rocket launchers, 5 rocket launchers up on top. This thing's strong enough that I can throw a ski rope on. We'll easily be able to ski out the back of this thing, which is just a bit of fun. So we've got the full height windscreen in here. It's got the little wraparounds. You do get a lot of protection in behind here. Obviously, center console, it is what it is. When you're copping that big side swell, you're going to get a little bit more wet than we did in the green machine, but that's all part of it. Then if we come down the bottom of the console here, one just massive big shelf. It's nice and deep, probably 600 mil deep, with a turn up, so you can just load that up. We're already starting to fill it with shit. And then more storage underneath, so might even get a smaller little esky, little drinks esky, or we basically can load our camera bags up there as well. So just plenty of space, making sure we're using all of that storage. I wanted a lot of dry storage on this boat, being a center console. So we got the big storage here, and then on the sides, full length, very back to front, running all the way through. Side pockets nice and wide, so I'll be able to load them up with our flippers, spear gear, fishing rods, get everything out of the way. Try and keep all the floor space clean as possible. That's the aim of the game. Rod holders all the way round, which you would have seen. So your rod holders going all the way round. We got 3 on the diagonal out there. We snuck a 4th one in here, which is your vertical. So 4 and 4 on each side. We got 2 off the back is 10, and then the 5 up top. So you got 15 bloody rod holders, which is perfect. Like I said, the storage pockets come all the way through. And then if we come up the front here, I'll show you where all the dry storage is. So you've seen a lot of this during the build, but Absolutely massive dry storage under the floor here, which is going to come in so handy, especially with the amount of camera gear we take away. But even if you're just a boys trip without all the camera gear, you know, that can be your dry bags, that can be boxes full of food, swags up on top. Then we got the massive hatch up on top here. We've used absolutely every corner we can. So this is just going to be loaded with dry storage. Of course, if any water gets into any of these gunnels here, drains out straight onto the floor, self-draining deck. Now, we were umming and ahhing, do we split this? Do we have the floor go straight through? Do we bring this further forward? I'm pretty happy with the way this has ended up finishing up. We've basically taken the front of the boat, splitting it in half. You can easily have one bloke fishing on this side on the lower level, another bloke out here. We've put a nice little step in here just to help out, and you've still got this nice big deck space, plenty of room to be casting straight into those bust ups. And then look, of course, when you're just out for a family day or mate's day, there's enough room to throw a towel down, and the old missus can kick back and have a little bit of a sunbake. So, well, look, that just about sums up the whole boat. I don't think there's too much that I have missed. If there's anything you think I've missed, or if there's anything you think we should have done differently, you know, all those mad fishers out there, let me know your tips. I'm definitely not a bloody expert. This is all a big learning curve for us. But when we went up to Airlie Beach and we went out island hopping, I absolutely fell in love with that living on the island. I'd love to do weeks, 2 weeks at a time, sort of just out on the boats with the swags, trying to tuck away in those little islands. It's a hell of an experience. All you guys should do your best to get out there and have a crack at it yourselves. Hopefully we get some decent fish in the boat. We're getting better at the fishing. We've still got a long way to go, but we're going to give this thing a massive hiding over the next 3 months through the summer period. So make sure, if you're enjoying these videos, like, we really do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. The more subscribers and thumbs up we get, the more YouTube shares it, and we're able to get out there and create this content for free. So with that in mind, we're going to take this thing for a rip. I've got to push it straight out through the bar. Till next time, guys, make sure you get out and enjoy the Explore life. Cheers.